It's exciting to announce that I'm about to do an experiment for a full year. And what is this experiment called? It's the intuition experiment. And what I want to try and prove is that by tapping into our intuition for 365 days, for a whole year, that we will get from here to our goal in a much faster pace than trying to control it on our own. So, again, the goal is, can we tap into our intuition within, that voice within that gives us our gut feeling, that gives us messages from within that we feel, yeah, that's the right thing, I'm going to take action on it. So, not just to get the message, but we're going to actually take action on it. And when we take action on it, what happens? So as I do this, I'm going to share my experience here online on a daily basis. So this video is explaining again what this is all about. So how am I tapping into the intuition? I'm doing it through meditation. I'm doing it 2 times a day through closing my eyes and doing meditation. And as I'm meditating, I'm listening and just listening for messages to come up. And sometimes I won't hear anything. Sometimes I'm just thinking thoughts randomly. But every now and then a message will come up. And the goal will be, as I get that message, I will take action on it. So today, for example, I decided to put this into practice. So what I did was I did a meditation this morning, and then I got this message. And the message was someone that I know that was dealing with some anxiety. I got this message which said, hey, reach out to that person and see what the benefits are that they're experiencing from actually having that anxiety. And I thought, what does that mean? That seems kind of strange. And so what that meant was, if we're experiencing anxiety for a period of time, the thought that came up is there must be some kind of benefit that we're getting from it. So I called that person up because, again, when we get the message, we need to take action on it. And I called them up and I spoke to them about this and I explained it. And they said, well, I'm willing to take a look at that. So I asked the question, what are the benefits of you having this anxiety? And I said, what I'd like you to do is just put on some music and list it out. And then I will talk to you about step 2, because I also got another step that came. So they told me, called me back a couple hours later, said, I got the list. We went over the list and it was incredible because this person, by having these benefits, right, this is some of the things where they were able to not have to answer to people, because if the people knew that they were dealing with anxiety, they wouldn't, if the person said, no, I don't want to do this, the other people that know they have anxiety would understand. Not having to clean up certain things, not having to do certain actions were all acceptable when that person had anxiety. So they listed out the benefits and saw, wow, I have all these benefits. While I never really thought about it, but subconsciously they were there. So they really thought about that and said, well, you know what, I'm going to start looking at that a little bit more. And I said, yeah, well, you know what we can do is look at, is it possible to have the benefits of that and also not have to have anxiety? So is it possible to, if you don't want to say no to people, can you say no to someone? Can you still not have to clean or do certain things that you don't want to, and also not have to have anxiety to do that? So they're going to start working on that. So what did I get from all that, right? Because this is also about my own personal growth. Well, I started to think to myself, wait a second, well, how can I apply the same thing to me? And one of the things that I deal with is money, right? Money. Sometimes I'm making good money, other times I'm not. And it kind of goes back and forth and back and forth. And so I said, well, what's the benefit for me to not making a whole lot of money? And interesting things started to come up like, well, I don't have to be disappointed if it doesn't work out. I can stay in my comfort zone. I don't have to take risks, right? And a number of things came up as I wrote down the benefits. Now, all of this came from just tapping into the intuition during meditation. So what I'm going to do is just see where this leads. I don't have any idea where this is going to go at all, but I'm going to try it out. And every day when I'm meditating, I'm going to tap in and listen for specific messages, but I'm not just going to listen. I'm going to take action. And as I get different messages during the day, gut feelings, I will take action on them. And then I'm going to do a video at the end of each day like this and report back on what I've learned. So this is only day one. We just started the process and we'll see where it goes. But I think it's really interesting because I think what I'm going to try to prove is, again, we can try to figure out a whole plan to get us somewhere, or maybe we just tap into our intuition and let it guide us completely. Again, as long as we take action. Like, we can't get an intuitive message and then sit back and watch Netflix. That's not going to do anything for us. But if we get an intuitive message and take action on it, then that's what's going to help us get to where we need to go. So that's it for day one. I'll be back tomorrow. Some videos will be longer, some will be shorter. It won't matter, but I will report each day to see where I am. And I'm creating a little bit of a history by making these videos because this is day one. And if I do this for a full year, we'll see where we're at in a full year from now. I tried this once before, but I didn't really have a working guideline to how I was going to do it, and now I do. So let's have fun together. I hope that you'll learn and grow from this as much as I will, and maybe use some of these messages for yourself as well, or not. But if you're here watching this right now, if you're listening to this, there's probably a good reason and purpose for it. So trust the fact that you're here. Trust that there's some kind of guidance for you that you're supposed to hear through these messages. And again, I don't know what that'll be for you. And most importantly, if it feels right and if your gut speaks to you, then take action on it and go in the direction you need to go to get the things you want by listening to that voice within. That's it. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys tomorrow.